I just joined on.
Okay, Rajesh. Yeah, thank you. Uh, yeah, we'll start the meeting today. So, good morning, all. Thanks for joining on Sunday. I will share my screen. Rajesh, should be able to see my screen, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
Yeah,
Trailblazer meetup. Yeah, the
yeah,
first screen.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So, this event started now Feb 24. So, almost we crossed 3 months. It's a 100 days challenge, uh, learning and social costs and personal taking care. So we explain it. This event ideally co-hosted by Architect Group Chennai, Admin Group, and Non-Profit User Group Chennai. So then we have this is 100 days challenge as mentioned already. We've seen a lot of time. This three big challenge. One is ninjas, purely for learning purpose, trial it, and all other sessions, right? So that's the thing. It's a complete package we are learning. Then we do have a fitness, taking care of yourself so that you can learn and give back to the community. That is the one thing. Then third one is care corps, kind of planting trees. Here we are driving. So at least one plant can be save the nature. So that is the our motto here. So try to follow it, learn, and take care of yourself and take care of this environment as well. Then this is a study plan. So we all the way crashed starting from Feb, March, April, and May. Now we are in fourth day of LWC. So mostly we covered uh, all the cloud related products like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, then Tableau, other CPQ, Padard. So many things, complete package. So mostly we are focusing on admin and developments. Developments consist of triggers and Apex and LWC. This is the main focus for us. So please make a note of it and block your calendar, learn it. Maybe if you have missed anything due to your personal reason, so you can go through our YouTube channel and go through our recordings. All the previous recording also available, and you can reach out the um, on and through Telegram channel if you have any questions. Then ultimately, this event is purely a maybe zero cost, right? So for the we have a sponsors, so they are providing kind of logistics or speakers or any content, whatever things, right? So thanks to our sponsors, Demand Blue, Soft Square, and Intellect AI, Satrang, and Win for Me. So they are the key sponsors for us. So they are helping us a lot. Thanks once again. And yeah, as usual, we start this event 10 o'clock and 11:15 we have a break. 15, after 15 minutes, yeah, then we start the session 11:30. So 12:15 or 12:30 we have a Q&A session. So this is the last day for LWC. So please make a note of it, whatever question you have, and during the 12:30, or you can post your questions. So we make the session interactive. So get clarified whatever question you have today. So make this opportunity. Yeah, as you know, today's speaker Rajesh Prabhu is working in SCL as Senior Salesforce Solution Architect. So I think he is giving a more detailed session and whatever questions we asked him may be rising. So he's giving a very detailed one. So make use of today's session as well and get clarified. I think thank you once again. So please follow our event updates in Telegram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So make a note of it. We'll share these links in chat as well. Rajesh, over to you. Time is yours. I will stop sharing. Yeah, Yeah,
Perfect.
you can share your screen and start the session.
Sure.
Yeah,
And again, thank you again, all. Thank you, Anand, and thank you, everyone. I know it's a weekend, and also Sunday. Everybody wants to spend time with the family, but you have taken dedicated 2 or 3 hours of your time just for learning, right? Which will certainly pay off. Trust me. Okay, so we will continue our Lightning Web Component journey, and then we'll try to cover as much ground as possible today. Okay. Um, so that you can continue this journey, because LWC is not something that you can completely get hold of in a few hours of session. Okay, but this could be the starting point. Okay, so that you don't feel that when you see this LWC code, you don't feel that no, this is not something for me, or you don't feel that the it's too difficult to learn. No, that's not it, because the last 3 sessions, right, we did spend quite a good amount of time in talking about the fundamentals, isn't it? And then we have you have seen how easy it is to create Lightning Web Component, correct? Yeah. So we are writing minimal lines of code, but we are spending more time in understanding the concept, correct? Yeah. So we will continue on that same pace, okay, and then complete the implementation that we have started with. Okay. So with that, let me share my screen. Just a moment, okay? Is that the one? I'll try to open the deck, okay? Then we can get started. Mhm. So if you see a lag in my audio or video, just stop me, okay? Uh, I'm not very confident with my network today. Okay, I'm just trying to connect from a remote place.
yeah,
Okay,
sure, sure.
so yeah. All right, I think I'm okay to share my screen now. Yeah, please share the entire screen. Very nice. I'll go back to this. All right. So this is our mind map, correct? So whatever concept that we did learn so far, we kind of captured in this mind map, right? So we started with JavaScript fundamentals. We talked about why a knowledge on HTML, JavaScript, and CSS are important, right? To build or to work with Lightning Web Components, correct? I hope if you're starting new and new with Lightning Web Component, go back and then refresh the fundamentals of JavaScript plus the ES6 standards. Okay, so that's something that is really essential. Okay, then we started talking more about the Lightning Web Component framework, right? Remember the ice cream analogy, correct? So Salesforce built this framework on top of the JavaScript. So they have written a lot of JavaScript code, okay, to make our development experience easy. Okay, which we have been in fact experiencing it, right? While we create this components, correct? So we talked about the naming convention that needs to be followed when you create a component. We talked about the yesterday, right? We spent good amount of time in talking about debugging techniques, correct? Yeah. So now how you can able to place a breakpoint in the code, correct? Yeah, JavaScript code, and then step through the code, right? So uh, different applications provide different way, not application, different languages provide the various ways to debug the code. Take Apex as an example. You have this Apex debugger. You have this system.debug. That's something that we use all the time, correct? Yeah, to place a debug statement and then see the logs whether this is executed or not. All such things we do that, correct? So if you're using JavaScript, the fundamental is just the same. The principle is just the same. It has this console.log. More than that, it gives you an option to step through the code, correct? Yeah. So all such things we did discuss. We did discuss about the HTML directives, correct? Because this if conditions, for loops, everything that you will typically see in in a language, server-side language is what you call Java, C Sharp, Apex, etc. Correct? But here in LWC, okay, you can also do that. Yeah. So we did learn that as, isn't it? Yeah. I'm talking, there is this, attribute called if true. So using which you can use LWC if or if true. That is another syntax, LWC colon if as well. That is also, that will also work. Okay. So basically, I'm going to use if else condition. Why do I use it? I want to conditionally to show something, conditionally to hide something. So in that case, right, I can use this if true, if false, all such things. Yeah, simple. Yeah. And when do I use this for loop? I use this for loop when I have multiple, items to process. Yeah. So, uh, so in this case, right, we have this bunch of contracts, correct? The data that came from the database. I want to loop through the contacts, correct? And then show a nice, design a nice UI, correct? Yeah, because I can't just like that show the contract data to the user, isn't it? So, so that's where, that's where we did use this for loop, isn't it? Yeah. And then we used Salesforce's Lightning Tile, the default web component, to show the information in a nice and nice and in a in a much presentable way. If I put it that way, yeah. So before we before where is this? Yeah, yeah. So before we wrap this today, there were some questions about refresh Apex, correct? And then also we decided to make some additional changes, isn't it? So what I'll do is I'll first open the org. Okay. So remember this. When your VS Code is connected to an org, you will just see the small icon open org. When you just click, it just opens up the org without asking you to enter username and password. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the. I'm just doing the same. I'm trying to open the org. Let's see. Creative Fox is the name of my org. Let's see. All right. So this is what we built yesterday, correct? So the idea, the business use case was to show the list of contracts to the user, the logged in user that that are expiring, next month, correct? So we have few additional enhancements in mind, correct? We wanted to show a drop down with a, we wanted to show an option for the user to, to choose month and then, right, um, show the contracts that are due for renewal or expiring, isn't it? Yeah. So basically, this is what we wanted to, achieve, isn't it? So for example, we want to have a drop down. So drop down will have all the, months. Okay. So when I choose July, yeah. So I want to ensure that first let me refresh this. I don't know if this is still okay. Good. Yeah, June. If let's make July, it shows only one because it has a contract end date, 7. So if I just choose August, there are no expiring contracts. Yeah. So this is pretty much what we would like to build, as part of this use case. Correct? Yeah. This is the end goal, isn't it? Yeah. So let's see how we can able to further, enhance the code and then do this. Not only this, we wanted to make these links clickable. When I click on, let's say Parry Cafe, right? It should take me to the page, to the account page. Cool, it is happening, isn't it? I'm right now in Parry page, right? Okay, I'll go back home and I'll click on the contract ID. Okay, so that from here I can navigate to contract. So click here, it just opens up a tab and then I will be taken to the contract page. This is the one. Yeah, the one that is expiring, next month. Correct. So we will do this as per this session. Yeah. Okay. So first things first, let's talk about the refresh apex. I think there were more discussions happened on the refresh apex, correct? And I promised you guys to uh, right? Yeah. So let's do that. Okay, let's try to apply that refresh apex right here. Okay. So the idea is we are showing the list of contacts, right? This is the code, right? Yeah, list of contract. So now while I see this particular data, okay, let me also do this. Mm, Let's see if we can able to reproduce caching problem. Then we will apply the refresh apex concept. Okay. All right. I will. What are the two Dickinson's ones and cyanide system, right? Dickinson is here, San is here. I'll open all the records first. Okay, good. Okay, so this is my page now. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, contract start date is, or contract end date is, sorry, start date is 16/5. Okay, I will go to this one. There's a contract which is associated with this account, right? I will go to the details. I'll make a small change in the contract start date. Okay. Yeah. Instead of 16, I'll make it as 18. Okay. And then click save. So my date saved. I'll come back to the page and then refresh. Now you can just still save 16, right? You're not seeing 18. The base record was changed, but still the start date, shows 16. This is what, we were discussing yesterday, the caching issue. Okay. So again, the cache anytime, can be bursted. Automatically Salesforce take care of it. If you refresh this again, you might not see now. Okay, if you refresh this again, might take 30 seconds, 45 seconds, sometimes a minute as well. Okay, yeah, but certainly Salesforce will bring the latest record. Okay, if you, even if you don't explicitly write any code, right, Salesforce will certainly bring you that code, bring you that latest code. But we don't know, we cannot control, we don't know when Salesforce will realize that, okay, the data is really stale, the actual data is 18, somebody else has modified the data, some user has modified, or some import export happened, whatever it is, right? Salesforce will take its time to realize that the data has gone bad or stale. Okay, and then refresh this or shows this latest stuff. Okay, yeah. So now this is what we're gonna stop from happening. Okay, so for that purpose, all we have to do is we just have to write a few lines of, that's all it is. Okay, few lines of code. So Salesforce has given you an option. Okay, Salesforce said that, okay, I did write a code. Okay, so Salesforce says that, so this is for um, this for okay. Okay, refresh apex data when not input parameters, when data, when base data changes. Okay. Okay, good. So what we do is we will import something called refresh apex. So it is case sensitive. I'm just thinking whether R is caps or I think lowercase. Let's see. If it doesn't work, I'll change it to uppercase. It's case sensitive from. Okay. So what Salesforce has done is, right. They have created this refresh apex method. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just referring to that method in my code. That's all it is. Yeah. So this method is already written by Salesforce, and it is kept inside that package, Salesforce Apex package, bunch of JavaScript files. Okay, this is the step one. Okay, so this is refresh Apex. Step one. Okay, cool, right? Yeah, done. Number two. This is where we are. This is where we are making a call to the database, and then reading the data. Correct? Yeah. So remember the two system properties we talked about yesterday, data and error, right? Yeah. So again, Salesforce is helping you to hold the data for you. Yeah. So now these two are properties. Okay. In fact, these two are properties of a system class named result. Okay. We are using this as is. Otherwise, I can use it this way as result.data, result.data, result.error. This is also totally fine. Okay, this result dot error is also totally fine. Okay, so basically result is a uh, class in which there is a system property named data. Okay, why are you showing an error?
Hey,
No,
hi
maybe.
Rajesh, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go
The
on, please.
Contract data, is it a built-in function or did we define it somewhere else?
Which one? Oh, this one.
Line number 23, yeah. Process contract data.
Our function we created yesterday, isn't it? We created. It's just the name of the function. Uh,
Correct. Okay.
what is missing? So I can give any name. What is happening here? Anyways, I'll do different way. Right click and
I
then
think we can just use result over there in the braces and then
I
later.
will. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So we just added this refresh apex, so I just deployed it. There is no problem, right? So now the one point to remember is right. So both data and error, right, are part of class. Okay. So don't think too much about this result class. It's a system class. Just like how we have this lightning element, it's a system class. When I say system class, Salesforce built it for us. Okay. Yeah, Salesforce has the code and they built it for us. Okay. Ideally speaking, the data and error both are the properties of properties in the result class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little change right here. Okay. So this is my existing code, right? Yeah. I'll copy this. Instead of this, I will simply use result. That's it. Okay. Simply use result. Number one, the first thing, right? Then wherever I want to, refer the data and error, I will just simply say result dot error. Okay. And also result dot data result error. That's it. Okay. So let us run this. Okay. Let's deploy this change and then see if we are seeing any change in the in the experience or in the output. Okay. So let's go back. Let's refresh this. Let me also enter that the latest code is picked up by the yeah. So let's do that. Yeah. And how do I know? Okay, something is wrong. Data is not defined. Somewhere something is wrong, right? Yeah. So somewhere else, yes. I'm directly accessing data. So what I'll do is I'll just use result.data. So basically, wherever have this data, I'll be calling it along with the class name. That's all it is. Okay. Yeah. So once this is done, it should be fine. Okay. So I'm just doing so what did I do? I'm just passing result class, just like one of the participants, our friend said, right? Rajesh, use result directly, right? Instead of saying result.data. So I'm doing the same. Okay. Just sending the class. And then wherever I want to access data, I'm just saying class name dot the property. Okay. So following the following that, let's deploy this and then see the output. Excuse excuse me, guys. All right. So did I refresh? Let me just try this. Dun. Okay, so I don't see any change in the output, which is cool. But I want to see whether the new code change is there or not. Okay, I'll go to sources. Remember how do we do the debugging? We did that yesterday, right? So I'll go to the open file and then let's look for expiring contracts. I do see one or two files. Let's see this one. Scroll. Yeah, now it's actually the browser is using the latest code. Super. So this is the first step, done. Yeah, first step is done. Other than that, okay, so we need to burst the cache, or we need to tell Salesforce explicitly to see if there is a change in the data. Yeah. So for that purpose, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a new I'm going to make use of this refresh apex. Okay, so what I'll do is when there is result data, we'll do is we will just simply say that call that method refresh apex. Okay. Yeah, call the method refresh apex, and then we have to send we have to send we have to send the data to be checked for, to be checked for updates, whatever. Yeah, yeah. So we have to send that data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a property. Okay, I'll have it, data to refresh. Okay, yeah, a simple property, a simple property. Okay, so this is again I'm introducing for cache burst. Okay, so I'll copy this property name. I'll come back here. Okay, so what I'll do is, the moment, the very first time we load the data, very first time. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that this dot data to refresh is equal to result. I'm assigning this entire assign entire class. Yeah, entire class, result class. Okay, to a local variable. Okay, now all I have to do is I just have to send this data. Okay, that's all we have to do it. Okay, that's all we have to do it. So once this is done, we are all good to go. So should be fine. Result.data. Good. That's it. Only 2 lines of code. Okay, now this should sort out our refresh problem. Okay, so I'll right click. We'll just see if there is any error or not. See, I'm intentionally right not sending this result into this refreshed apex, because it is immutable, as in you cannot change the data or alter the data inside the inside the result, the data that is holding inside this result class. Okay, so that's the reason you have to take a call. You have to assign it to a local variable and then do it. Yeah. Okay, so the term is called immutable. Okay, it's called immutable. So don't think too much about it. If it is, when you read this, in your when you learn more about this, wire functions. Immutable means the output from this wire method cannot be altered. Okay, so it has to be assigned back to the local variable, and then we can do any changes, with that local variable value. Okay, so with that, let's go back to the page. Let's refresh. All right, there's no error, which is cool. What we will do is, let us also ensure once that cache is good, output is there. Okay, so let me try this again. So okay, so let's try this for this is for San. This is Dickinson. Okay, for Dickinson, let's try this. So instead of 18, the start date, I'll just make it as 1. Okay, yeah, rather 2nd May. Yeah, let's click on save. So now I'll go back to the page, home page. Let's refresh. I should be seeing May 2nd as the start date, right? Let's see. It's there. Yes, May 2nd as the start date. Perfect, isn't it? Yeah. So just couple of lines of code that will help you to ensure that the cache is always checked. Okay, for any stale or for for any latest updates, and accordingly, right, this will work. Okay, what you need to focus on is the way how you write the code will will be little different. Instead of directly accessing the properties that hold your data, accessing the property that holds your error data, right, you have to start referring the class which is actually holding this data and error properties. Okay, so once you do that, take a copy of that, take a copy of that result into a local variable, then just call this refresh reference. That will take care of everything for you. Okay, yeah, so I hope this was helpful. Let us also document this. Close this. Let me document the, where is it? Yes. Yeah. So we will also, okay, refresh Apex. Okay. Use it to burst the cache, right? To burst the cache, to show latest data all the time. Okay. Yeah. I hope this was helpful, Lavani, and few folks did ask this question, right? I hope this was helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Rajesh, thank you.
Perfect. Good. So now this is done. Now let's get back on track. Okay. And then try to build this or make some additional enhancements right here. Okay. The very first thing is I need to introduce this drop down. Yeah. So I can create a drop down using HTML, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. Instead, I'll make use of Salesforce, Salesforce web components. Okay. Yeah. Because Salesforce has built a lot of web components for us, isn't it? So let's use that. Okay. So let's go here and I'll use Lightning combo box.
A small, sorry to interrupt, Rajesh.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
please. No, no problem. Go on, go on.
yeah. Uh, can we use this refresh apex even when we call an apex method imperatively? We have used just now when we are calling the apex
Mm,
method using the wire
mm.
decorators. Suppose we call an apex method imperatively. Even in that case, can we use?
Imperatively, we can't use this refresh mixes along with that. So there is another one called, there is a different way to handle that. But this
Okay.
refresh apex will work only with, with the wire method. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But we have to
Okay.
follow a different approach when we make a call imperatively.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. And sorry to
Super.
interrupt.
Super. No worries. Anytime. Stop me. Okay. All right. So this time, what are we going to use? There are a bunch of Lightning Web components, Salesforce created. Right? Let's make use of some, right, to avoid what do you call? To write more code from her. So Salesforce says that whenever you want to show a dropdown on the screen, right? Salesforce says that use this Lightning combo box. That's it. Okay. So you can just see this right name, label, value. Again, if you want to know what each of these attributes will do, we can certainly go to specifications, and then you can find all the attributes right here, all the attributes right here. Yeah. So I'll go back to the example. Okay, very simple. So there is this value, there is this option. So basically what Salesforce says is, right? So it's a drop down, right? So your drop down will have some label, isn't it? New, in progress, finished as a label. Behind the scenes, when somebody clicks on label, clicks on new, right? So you can also associate a value to this, like new as 0 or in progress as 1, and and finished as 3, some sort of value that you can also associate, correct? Yeah. So what Salesforce says is have a bunch of just focus on this alone. Okay, don't think about sixth and seventh line. Focus on this. Does it sound familiar? This one, right? Label value, label value, label value. At least the syntax. Remember we talked about JavaScript objects yesterday. Yeah. If you want more than one object, right, to be one object to be used, right? Yeah. I can use array and object. So this is an array, the square bracket. Yeah. And each one is actually a record, basically a JavaScript object format with a key and then value pair. Label is the key, value is new. Here this is the key and this is the value, isn't it? So basically if I give an input something like this to the combo box, right, then I can able to get that, I can able to get the drop down ready. Okay. So I can just only focus on the actual value that needs to be binded to the combo box. Number one. Number two, we're going to also learn about know what which value the user has selected, isn't it? Yeah. So for that purpose, remember JavaScript is an object, it's an event driven programming, right? So whatever happening right here is an on change. As a user, I'm changing the value in the dropdown, isn't it? Yeah. So what we are saying is when the combo box, the user is changing the value in the combo box. Okay, on change. I want to make a call to a method. Okay. Yeah, the class method handle change. So in the handle change, we can very simply use, we can very simply use event class detail.value. So this is JavaScript code. Okay. So it's not specific to Salesforce, it's JavaScript. Event.detail.value will give you the actual value of the selected item. Okay. So let's use that. Let's use it very quickly and then see. What I'm going to do is I'll copy the code and then make tweaks. Okay. I'll copy this. I'll go back to the code. Okay. HTML. Yeah. And not this one. Expiring contract HTML. This is the one, right? Yeah, good. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the top. Okay. Yeah. So because when the value changes, right, I want the contracts contracts to show. Okay, yeah. So I'll put it on the top. I'll right click and then first format this. Yeah, cool, right? So in the place of progress, I don't want, I'll just say select month. Okay, label, let's say select month. Okay, and in the value, let's come back to the value in a minute. Okay, the placeholder, let's say select month. Okay, so handle change. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some little tweaks here and there. Okay, and in my focus on this one, options. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a new property. Okay, I'll just say month options. Okay, equal to, it's an array. Yeah, it's an array, and inside which I'm going to create an object. 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use the same thing that the system is expecting. System is expecting this, right? What I'll do is I'll copy that, put it right here. Okay, the label I want to show the user, right, Jan, but the Jan or January, yeah, the value I would like to have it as 1. Okay, the same thing, I'll copy this, I'll put it right here. Okay, and we'll have something called, I'll close this curly brace, also close this curly brace. Basically there are uh 3 months, right? So February 2, okay, and then March 3. Okay, yeah. So for now 3, I'll also I'll get the other code ready. Okay, so this is my months option. I'll copy this. I'm going, okay, Mr. Combo Box, this is the data that you wanted to show on the screen. Okay, yeah, let's say first 3 months. Okay, then I need a variable, I need a property to hold the selected month. Why do I need this? Because once a month is selected, right, I want to send this to the database saying that, hey, you know what, can you go and then find me those contracts that are due for renewal for the selected month. I need to send this 1, 2, 3, these values. Okay, so for that purpose I need a property, okay, that holds month selected by the user. Okay, so I'll copy this, I'll go back and then put it right here in the value. Okay, so yes, I took the base code from the Salesforce, correct, and then I made some changes according to our requirement, isn't it? Yeah, simple, correct. And Salesforce says that this is the on change, right? I'll copy this, maybe I'll just say handle month change. I'll name it, I can give any name, isn't it? So I'll say handle month change, and right below I'm going to make a call. Okay, yeah, and this is where we will read the selected month. Okay, yeah, so which is also something, we already have this code, right? I'll copy this code, come back and put it right here. Okay, do this is an event, basically an action performed by the user, so I'll use the event class. Okay, and then instead of this value I'll say that this is where I decided to, or we decided to hold the selected method, copy, put it right here. Okay, that's it. Of course I made quick changes here and there. Let's save, deploy, debug, and then see what is happening, then we can further fine tune our code. Okay, I'll save everything. Okay, so we introduced a combo box, correct, we introduced a couple of properties, correct, one to hold the month, one to keep all the months, correct, yeah, to show it on the screen, isn't it? So cool. So with that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deploy the code. Okay, super, this is good. Let's close this. Let's come back to the org. Okay, um, here it is, right? Yeah, let's refresh this page. I should see the drop down. It's not there, which means either the code is having some issue, or we don't have the latest code loaded by the browser. I just cleared the cache. Let's see. See, now we have this one. That is a selected month, and we have Jan, Feb, and March. Super. Our first thing is done, right? Why should I have select month here? Select. I can just hide this one, the select month. Okay, which is also fairly simple. What Salesforce says is right. They have introduced a variant called. They have introduced a property called variant. I can just say label hyphen hidden. And if you are thinking right, okay, where do worry? Everything is there in the documentation. If you go to this lightning combo box specification, use variant, that's what I used, and it says that label hidden. Use this to make that make the label uh, not disabled, to make that label hidden. Okay, yeah. So anyways, all these are aesthetics. Okay, yeah. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that code in debug mode, okay, to see whether the code is picking up the correct month. Okay, I'll go to sources, same drill, open file, find this contracts, expiring contracts, right? Yeah, let's go there. Let's put a breakpoint. Let's look for the code first. Where is it? Handle month change. Which will put a breakpoint. Okay, just hit the line number. Okay, is there any other file with the same name? Expiring contracts. No, just one file, right? Yeah, cool. Now what I'm gonna do is I will go and then change the month. Okay, from Jan to Feb. Now you can just see this, right? The controller just came to this particular line number, and it is currently paused. Okay, and if I take my cursor over here, okay, you can just see the value 2, because for Feb we just set the value 2, correct? Yeah. And right now selected month is undefined, but once I execute this line number 139, this property will get the copy of the value, correct? So let's go here. Now the selected month is also true. So that's it. My first step is completed, isn't it? So now all I have to send the selected month to the database, correct? Because right now I'm showing only the uh, contracts that are expiring next month, correct? From next month. So but I wanted to I wanted to send this number to the apex class, okay, to the apex class, so that my apex class will accordingly, right, query the data and then give it to me. Okay, yeah. So that's the next thing that I'm going to do it. All right, so let's do that first. For that purpose, let's go to the apex. Okay, let's go to the apex class, and then let's modify that. So apex class, let's close this. Let us go back to the code. Let's go to this one. Let's go to the controller class. Super, right? Yeah. Okay, so I have this apex class, right? So this is the current one that we are using. I'll keep it, not the current. This is the current one that we are using. I'll keep it as is. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a minor tweak here and there. I'll call, okay, I'll put it right here. Okay, so while I do this, just try to significance of Aura enabled, because when you create an Apex method which you wanted to use it in Lightning Web Component, correct? So you have to ensure that the Apex method is annotated with Aura enabled. Remember? Yeah. So cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name of this component. Sorry, name of this method by month. I'll take integer. Okay. Um, and then we will have month. Okay. I month. Okay, yeah, this is my this is my what do you call, this is my input, correct? So now this is where I have to change the format, isn't it? Yeah, instead of considering the current month, right? I wanted to uh, change the started and ended based on the input given. Yeah, based on the input given. For that purpose, yes, we can write a plain Apex code. Apex code, which is fairly simple. I'll be doing is I wanted to create a new instance of date dot new instance. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this first argument as date dot today. Get the first today, create today's date and the year. Okay, so now I have the year. Then I'll get the month. I'm creating a date all by myself. So current year and month, whatever the user has, user has sent, and make it as one. That's it. This is my old code. I'll remove this one. Okay, that's it. My start date is ready, isn't it? Yeah. So let's try the end date. End date is fairly simple. All I have to do is start date, add months. Probably I'll put. So this code, I'll just say add months. Okay. So how many months I want to? I just want to add 1 month. That's all it is. Okay. Then just deduct, one more days from it. Make it 30 instead of 31. Make it 30 as an okay. Yeah. First of each month till the 30th of each month. That's it. Okay. That's my start and end date. That's it. No other change. The remaining things will just, will just work just fine. Yeah. That's it. Okay. So I made a little change, right, in the way how you calculate start and end date, and accordingly the entire code will work now. Correct. So cool. So now how do I use this Apex class or Apex method back in my org? So I'll deploy this. I'm sorry. I'll first, deploy this first to see if there are any compilation errors. Okay. Variable does not exist. Day. Where are you saying? Oh, sorry. It's not day. It's date. Date is the class, right? Apex class. Let's run this and then see. Okay, date dot today dot year. Sorry, I used this as it's a function. I'm so sorry. Let's deploy this code. It's now ready to be used in Lightning Web. For the same process we did yesterday. Okay, just let me just go here. Okay, it's just the same. I wanted to. Okay, I want to fetch contracts by month. Okay, yeah, by month. And what is the method name? Method name is get contracts for renewal by month. Super, right? So my first reference to that method is done, right? Cool. Number two, um, when exactly I should refresh the list of contracts? The moment the user chooses a particular month, okay, I want this data to be refreshed, correct? I want my code to make a call to this method, the newly created method, by taking this month number, get the data, then show the data on the screen, correct? So I want this to happen only when the user is changing the value in the combo box, correct? Yeah, logically that's what it is, correct? So what I'll be doing is this is the code that runs whenever the making a change in the combo box, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a method. Okay, I'm going to method like let's say load contracts. Okay, load contracts. Yeah. And what I'll be doing is, so inside which I'll be make a call to Apex method, which is this, right? Yeah. Then read the data, then display the data. This is what we are going to do. Yeah. So I will be calling this method from the drop down change. Okay. So I'm saying that whenever the user changes, the value in the drop down, do two things for me. Number one, get the selected month. Number two, I'm saying that load contracts. That's it. This will be get this, this method will get called. Okay. This method will get called. Yeah. So perfect. So this is cool. Now, we also know that wire is what, that's what we discussed, right? A wire is an adapter that helps you to make a call to the database, correct? Make a call to the, make a call to a function that in turn, makes a call to the database and then gets the data, inserts data, whatever it is, correct? But it is the wire method. That's what, we did, talk yesterday, correct? Can we use that right here? Yeah, and see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to use the same wire method, okay, and then see whether this works or not. If it is not working, let's figure out why it is not working. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same. Okay. I'll copy this right here. Okay. Okay. So this time I will just say, this is the reference name, right? Fetch contracts by month. I'll come back and then put it right here. Okay. I need to send the parameter. I need to send a parameter, right? Input parameter, that selected month. Yeah. But the moment I added this code, I get an error. Yeah. So it says that the decorators must be attached to the class declaration, right? Not very user friendly message, but partially right. This points us in a different direction. Okay. It says that, okay, decorators like, this wire adapters. Okay. They're all called decorators. Okay. All called decorators because there is a potential to change the way how the the code works. Okay. Again, this is the concept from Salesforce, from a JavaScript. Okay. So there is a rule. Okay, there is a rule. So when you have a decorator, right, in your code, okay, especially when you want to use decorators inside a class, you cannot wrap that inside a method. You cannot do that. If you look closely, right, this is my class, right, and in the class I'm simply calling this at the red wire. I've not wrapped this wire inside any method. If I do that, it is against the, against the decorator principle, and it will not work. Your code will not work, and that is precisely what is happening. It says that, Rajesh, no, I cannot use at the rate wire inside a method. Okay, if that is the case, call. Okay, so this is where concept called, okay, another concept called calling apex method imperatively. Okay, so this is the term that we use. Okay, so call the apex method imperatively. Okay, inside without using, without wire. Okay, make a call to an apex method imperatively without wire adapter. Okay, because wire adapters cannot be used inside a function. Okay, that's the first thing that you should remember. Okay, yeah. So this is a new thing that we are seeing, right? Because yesterday when we started, right, when we started, where is it? Yeah, when we started documenting our various options to deal with Salesforce data, we did talk about Apex. Fine. We did talk about, other ways which we will also, try today. But we didn't talk about this. We simply said to make a call to a method, right? Yeah, and to the database. Now we are seeing two variants, correct? One is use wire. Okay. If use wire when calling Apex. Okay. When calling Apex to load data. Okay, uh, on component load. Okay, otherwise okay, uh, call apex imperatively. Okay, when uh, when uh, when data should be accessed. Okay, upon an action. Okay, upon an action like drop down change. Let's say I want to, click on a button. Okay, and then I want to make a call to the database to fetch some data. Okay, then you cannot use wire method. That is not possible. Okay, you have to go with this way, calling apex imperatively. Okay, yeah. So button click, or let's say mm, exchange. Okay, so after an action or an event happens, then you want to make a call to the DB, go with this option of calling Apex imperatively. Okay, so this is what we are going to do it right here. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, um, so how do I do that? In fact, it is pretty simple. If you ask me, right, it's actually simple. Okay, so I don't know how many are familiar with writing writing code, writing JavaScript code or JavaScript functions, promise functions in JavaScript. I don't know how many are familiar with that. Okay, otherwise you have to learn that. Okay, yep, and it's simple. Okay, it's not complex at all. Okay, but there is a I'll show you very quickly because first I'll write the code. Okay, then we will discuss. We will discuss the fundamentals. Okay, so calling Apex imperatively is very simple. All we have to do is use that reference name that we imported. Yeah, so I'll go right here. Just simply call that one. Okay, then we have to send parameters in JS object format. Okay, this is important. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
Rajesh.
important. Oh, sorry, is there a question?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah,
Sorry
go
to
on.
interrupt. Um, so wire method can be used to load data only on the page load instead of
Mhm,
custom action, right?
mhm,
To
mhm, mhm. That is correct.
that
That is correct. Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you, Rajesh.
Yes, that's the
So
key thing, because these decorators, right, they have certain limitations. You cannot wrap that inside an action and then make it wait to be called. Because if in this case, right, calling Apex imperatively, it's something that is waiting for some action to take place. In this case, I just change the drop down, or when somebody clicks on the button, right? Let's say I want to, let's say I have a button, a quick action, or I have a button on the page. Okay, to show all the to show a map. Okay, to show a map where the customer's location, right, or contact's location, right, needs to be plotted. Okay, but I want to click a button, then I want to show the map. So I click a button. I can make a call to an Apex. Apex will return me all the contacts along with their coordinates or address. Then I can just use LWC map component to plot all the messages. So that's another example where things can happen when or after an action is performed. Okay, so in that time you cannot use wire. Okay, yeah, you have to
okay,
you go with
why?
imperative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wire methods cannot be wrapped inside a method and cannot also be called
Mm,
from another method.
that is
Right?
also correct. You cannot call this from another method. No, it's
Okay,
always it sticks to the main class. When the
main
class
class.
loads, yeah, when the class loads, the code will execute. It could be fetching a data or inserting whatever it is. But wire says that boss, call me only when the component is loaded. I will always be associated with the class. Don't wrap me anywhere else. Okay, that's what wire
Just
says.
like public properties, right? Just at the top of the
Just
class.
like just like
Public property.
properties. All these
Yeah,
properties we define at the top of the class. Correct? Yeah, just
yeah,
like
right.
that. Wire will also be associated all the time with this one. Okay, yeah,
Thank
cool.
you, Rajesh. Sorry to
Super.
interrupt.
All right, so now we decided to call the Apex method directly, right? And this is where JavaScript promise function knowledge is going to help you. Okay, so first things first, I want to send the parameter in JavaScript format. Okay, yeah, so basically Apex method name, that's the syntax. Okay, this is the syntax. Apex method name followed by the parameter. Okay, I'll follow this one. Fetch methods. Okay, and JavaScript object format starts with the curly brace, right? Yeah, and you can have the key and value pair, isn't it? You can have the key and value pair, right? So let's do that. Let's give a key value pair, and this is where you have to be a little careful. Your key, the one that you are going to map it, right, should be same as your Apex methods input parameter name. Okay, I'll give this as a key and value. So where am I keeping the selected month by the user? Is there in this dot selected month, right? That's okay. So the thing is, this I month is coming from, or you have to use the same exact name, okay, which you have given as an input parameter name back in your Apex method. Okay, if you change something else, then Salesforce doesn't know. Okay, it will throw an error. It says that I cannot find that particular parameter, etc. Okay, that's how it is. See, that's it. This is the first thing that you do. Then, okay, what typically happens when you call to a database? In this case, we wanted to fetch some data, correct? Bunch of contracts, right? Two things can happen. One, it can bring you the data, or it can throw you an error. Earlier in the wire, we had this helper. We had this helper properties, right? Data and error, right? Which Salesforce said that, okay, I have this data, use me, process it. I have the error, use this, process me. But here, that's not the case. Okay, that's not the case. Um, uh, so what we will do is, this is again a syntax. Okay, so then, and there is something called cache. Okay, cache. Okay, this is together a block of code. This is together a block of code. Again, if you watch this closely, okay, watch this closely. Basically, you are making a call to an Apex method, and then if there is any data, okay, if data is found, okay, I can write that code inside this. Then what to do with the data? Okay, otherwise, if 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 there is an error, okay, if error out, okay, then whatever code that you will write inside this cache will run. That's it. Okay, so this is actually promise syntax, okay, in JavaScript. Yeah. um so you have to, you have to learn two things in JavaScript, okay, to understand more about this syntax. Okay, now it's 11:04, is it? Okay, let me do this. Mhm. All right, I'll have an HTML. HTML. I'll have one more. Uh, let's say this is helper dot jar. Okay. Um, I'll create a very simple code. Add functions. Okay. And promise. Let's add a script. Let's introduce the source. Okay. Helper.js, right? Okay. Helper.js. Yeah. So inside which, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write some code. Close all. Okay. So the first things first, you need to have knowledge about various ways in which you can write functions in JavaScript. Okay. So I can simply write something called function. Okay. Say hi. I'll go very simple. Yeah. It's gonna say console.log hi. Yeah. So now if I go to this HTML, okay, arrow functions and promise code, I'll go to that console. Okay. Too many errors. I don't like this. Let me try this. Document.write. At least let it print on the page. Okay. What is happening? Where is my helper.js? Did I helper.js is there? Correct. Script tag. It's all. Hmm. It should work now. Why it is not working? Right click, copy relative path.
I think the file is not saved, right? It's showing dot.
Oh, it's not saved, is it? Let me try this. Interesting. Hmm. It's not even loading. Why? Sometimes. Interesting to see why even a simple JavaScript is not loading. Uh, 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 uh. I don't have to explicitly say it's a JavaScript, but anyways, let's try. That's, mhm. Still not refreshing. Okay, I'll move forward. I think we do have another one. I don't know, for some reason it is not loading. I think we kept another snippets, right? Yeah, let's try this guy. Okay, where is my home HTML? Okay, what are you referring to now? Okay, I'll have functions. Yeah, and we'll do the same whatever we were trying to do it right here. Okay, put it right here, and in the HTML I'll just say functions.js. Super. Now let's go to this home page. Right click, open with live server. Hmm. Okay, we have something right here. All right. Super. Okay. Oh, so I should have called this function. See, what am I doing? It's a simple thing. It's a function. I should call this, isn't it? And now it will work. See, sometimes crazy things like crazy things happen. Anyways, so so I have a function, right? So this will help me to just just execute the code. So this is the traditional way of writing a function. Okay, yeah, this is syntax one. Okay, syntax one. And what Salesforce is doing is, right, it is actually changing the way how you can write a function. There is something called nameless function. Okay, so right now it says function, say hi, etc. Correct? Salesforce says is no need to do that. Salesforce says that I'll create a variable. Okay, create a variable. So I'll say uh, greet one equal to. So I don't have to mention a name to my function. Okay, just function. That's it. Okay, then I can have it this way. Inside which I'll simply say okay. So hi from nameless function. Okay, that's it. So now the same function I have written it in a different way. That's all. It is actually a function, but I'm not giving any name. Instead, I will assign this function to a variable, just like how you say let name equal to Rajesh, let designation equal to architect. You can also assign a function to a variable, and then call nameless function. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'm going to save this file. First time it says, from the normal function. What is happening? It's greet one, right? Alert. Is there a problem in the code? Huh? It has nothing in it. Why? Anyways, stop this. I'll put console.log. Okay. Yeah. Save. Done. Yeah. Hi from nameless function. Perfect, right? Yeah. Let's not use alert. Let's go to console.log. I don't want to see that pop up again and again. That is a third way, you can able to write a function, the same function. Okay. It's called arrow functions. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same one. I'll say let greet 2. I'll say, okay, equal to, don't even say it's a function. Okay, just open and then close this bracket. Okay, then use equal to and greater than sign arrow. That's it. And then write your function or methods in it. That's it, or your code in it. Okay, then what you can do is you can call the function as well. Call arrow functions. Okay, so now I can just say greet 3, so 2. Okay, now let's see what happens, whether this works or not. Okay, you can just see this, right? The is a very simple or traditional function, right? The traditional way to write a code. Now the second one is a nameless function, where you don't mention a name to the function, right? But still you assign that function and to a variable. You just execute that way, call the variable. Third one is you don't even say it's a function. You don't even do that. You don't even give a name to the function. You don't even explicitly say it's a function, but still, okay, you can just use this special what do you call, symbol equal to and greater than, looks like arrow, right? So arrow function, that's why it is called arrow function. Okay. So this is what we what we use a lot of time in Salesforce, in JavaScript code, okay, these days. Yeah, so it's so easy. There are multiple advantages. If I just start talking about it, right, then I don't think our time would be sufficient. Okay, but for you to, if you're looking at this for the very first time, okay, first time, so this is how you write arrow functions. Okay, yeah. So this is what we are going to use it. Okay, this is what we are going to use it back in our code. Okay, what I'll do is I'll make a little tweak to the arrow function. Okay, greet with name. Okay, so how do I send data? Because when I have this some function, right? Yeah, say hi with name. Okay, I'll take some input parameters, right? I can just say str name, and I can just say hi plus this. I can do that, correct? Yeah. If I do this, then it will say hi, whatever name that I send in, you know, for example, in this case, say hi with name. I can just say, Rajesh. I can just send an input parameter, correct? This is how the input parameter works. So same thing, I'll just say SC. So in this bracket, we can just pass any parameters, number of parameters you can pass. And then, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show that as well. Okay. So how do I call this? Copy this function name. Okay, then say something. Okay, let's say, let's pick one of our friends on the call. We'll have yeah, let's have Anand. Okay, yeah. So now let's see the output. If I go back to this one, yeah, you can just see this. Hi Rajesh, hi from arrow function Anand. Perfect, correct. So if you want to send an input parameter, we can just also do that in this arrow function. Okay, now the same concept I'm going to use it, the same syntax I'm going to use it right in our actual code. I'll go back here to our Now it's 11:17. Let's break by 11:30. Okay. I hope we can able to make good progress before that. I'll go to expiring contracts, JavaScript. Okay. This is a promise function, JavaScript promise function. So read about promise function because it might take more time for me to if I just focus on explaining promise function, right? Then I don't know if we can able to complete some of the use cases that we are planned to see today. Okay, but this is pure JavaScript concept. Okay, learn about JavaScript promises. Okay, a different way to write a code. That's all it is. Okay, so now what I'm saying is, right, so there's a function, right? I'm saying that um this function, okay, maybe I'll just enter. Okay, enter. Okay, so I'm going to write a bunch of code right here. Okay, so already the code is showing up. So what we'll do is whatever the output is going to be, okay, whatever the output is going to be, let's have that output, okay, captured. Okay, so basically we are doing this result. So what I'll do is I'll just say console dot log. Okay, so output from Apex plus this. That's it. Okay, same thing. If it is in the cache, I can write the code. Okay, I'll say error. Okay, same thing, console.log. Error from Apex error. That's it. Okay, I'll convert this into JSON so that we can see that in the output string effect. Okay, see. Yeah, so when you start, it may appear very simple, but when you just put one code into another, right, slowly, right, it seems to be complex, but when you dissect, it's all same, or no, it's easy to comprehend. Yeah, so this is how you make a call to an Apex API natively. Okay, so simple. You make a call direct, use the Apex method name directly to make a call. Okay, and then send any input parameters in the JavaScript, in the JavaScript object format. Then you are using JS promises, concept to read the data. Okay, inside this, then it gets called when there is a success. If it is an error, automatically it goes to the cache. That's all it is. Okay, so now I can write multiple lines of code. I just added one line of code right here, isn't it? Yeah. So I can write multiple lines. So basically what I want to do is I just wanted to assign that to the list of contracts, expiring contracts, equal to result. That's it. Okay, whatever we did right here, isn't it? We assigned that result to the contract, right? That's it. We're going to do the same right here. That's how easy it is. Yeah, so let's try this and then see if this is really working or not. Okay, so we have 10 more minutes, yeah, for a break. So let's deploy this. Okay, all right, there is no compilation error, which is cool. Let's go to the page. Okay, I'll close this one, to this one. Let's refresh. Okay, I think I'll do something else. So this drop down does not have any values, right? What I'll do is I do have this. In the interest of time, what I did is, right, I just did the code already. Okay, copy this. I'll go back now to our code. Okay, yeah, I'll just replace this. Okay, that's it. And what I've also done is, right, the selected month, I want to show the current, I want to show the the next month, right? Yeah, in the drop down as a default value. So what I did is I'm just using this date function in JavaScript, get the month, and then just adding it by 2. Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay, so holding the month. Yeah, that's it. So super, I have all the months functions. Now I'll deploy this to see all the months, right? Super. Let's go back now. Let's refresh the screen. Either now you can just see this, right? Instead of select month, it is showing month as June, which is the next month, right? Yeah. So we see the next month expiring contracts. Let's try for the following month, as in the July month. Okay. So I'll clear the I'll go to the sources. Okay, let's put a breakpoint. Okay, let's put a breakpoint and then debug our code. This is the guy, right? Load contracts. Let's choose that. Let's put a breakpoint right here. Let's put a breakpoint inside this as well. Okay, yeah. So let's pick the drop down. I'm just going to choose July. Let's see. So now I'll step through the code. Use the F10. So I see the value is 7, which is nice. Selected month is also 7, which is also nice. I'll go to the next one. Okay, so now this is cool. Selected month is 7, and this is the one that is going to make a call to that Apex method directly, right? Let's see. All right. So when you do that, result, does it have any data? I believe so. No. Let's. I'm in line number 179. Output from Apex. I'll go and clear the console so that only this. If I execute line number 179, I should see this as an output. Let's see. Okay. I will go to console. Okay. Looks like there is nothing in July. Why? There is no data. Okay. That's fine. But at least, there is no data. The code is not errored out, right? Okay, let's run this. I should actually show no data found or something like this, right? Let's try it for August. Looks like August has got some data, right? It has got Edge Communications and Prince Matriculation School. Let's try this. I'll go to sources. I will run everything. Yeah, you can just see this, right? Ends in number, ends in July, right? So if I choose some other Feb, it's gone. Nothing is there. If I choose June, yes. So I see contracts that are ending in June, isn't it? Perfect, correct? July none, August, yes, we do have it. Perfect. Yeah, which means now we did learn two things, correct? Number one, we did learn how to make a call to an Apex imperatively, correct? So cases where we cannot use wire because wire has some restrictions. I have something to load, when the when the component is loaded, right? Go with wire. Otherwise, okay, when you want to make a call to an Apex method on click of a button, or when some value is changed, go with this option of calling Apex imperatively. And we also did learn how to pass parameter to an Apex method. So I just send one parameter. If an Apex method has multiple parameters, I can do the same. I want to send month and year. Okay, fine. Same thing, comma. I let's say there is I year, and then I can just send that year as well, like 2024, something else. I can do that. Okay, so that is the reason the parameters are always sent to this sent to the uh, parameters are always wrapped in the JavaScript object format. Okay, you can send multiple parameters in one go. Okay, once you have the data, all we are doing is we are just using two basics in JavaScript. You are writing a promise function, right? Number one. Number two, you're also writing a arrow function. Okay, so that way you can able to read the data and then further process it. Super, right? 4 more minutes for a break. I'll take questions. Okay, then we can come back and then do that. Uh, LWC is front end developer or back? It's a front end. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a back end. Okay, maybe I'll break this into two. Your UI is built using HTML in LWC. Okay, your core logic, right? It's happening in JavaScript, which is running in the Java in the server side end as well. Okay, yeah. So is JavaScript in LWC is different from JavaScript that full stack developers use? Not really, not really. No, it's just the same, Subrato. Yeah. So you will use async await just like full stack developer uses, right? For making an asynchronous calls, for making an API call. Yeah, it's just the same. It's a plain JavaScript. Okay. Here and there are some LWC flavors. You will just see. Salesforce, might have changed the way. Okay, the format. That's all it is. Okay. Um, is defined somewhere. No, I said earlier, right? Result is actually a system class. This is actually a system class. Okay. Yeah, just like this lightning element, it's a system class, right? Did I write this lightning element code? No, it's there already. It's part of the Lightning Web Component framework. Just like that, this result is a class that is part of Lightning Web Component framework. Okay. So it's which is data holding data and is defined. Okay, okay. Uh, which is the front end? Front end is in LWC, which is back technology. Are you asking in general or with respect to LWC? If you're asking in general, Salesforce uses Oracle a lot backend for storing all our objects data. Okay, I think they're also following a lot of backend technologies. They have this MongoDB, but predominantly, right, it was powered by Oracle. Salesforce as a technology, right, for holding data. Yeah, I will share Deepak for sure after the call. Apex is backend and LWC. Right, that is correct. Yeah, Deepak is correct. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, can we have a recording? Yes, it is there. Anand did send a link to our YouTube channel. You will find all the recordings, Santosh, there. Of course, you have to revise and practice. System is freezed. Oh, is it? In the blue window. Okay, I think it's for internal communications. Fine. Okay, I think we are right on time for break, isn't it? So when we come back, right? So the major code, the important pieces of code, right, that you should be aware of is already written. It's written and it is working. So only aesthetic stuff is, left over. So what I will do is after this break, 15 minutes break, we'll come over. Let's also, do some aesthetic changes. I already have a code. We'll just copy paste so that you can just see how you can able to further make it completely ready, okay, for us to see the output. Yeah, but whatever we did learn so far, right, are the core pieces. Okay, but other than that, beautifying HTML, the way how you wanted to show the output, it's up to us. Okay, we can represent it in any in any ways. Okay, yeah, we will do that after this 15 minutes break. Okay, so what I will do is we will just set the timer. When we come back, we'll just continue our code. Okay.